And welcome back to the Valley in the Shade. You're here with a man named Jack and Strawberry.
That's me.
Doing more Epic the Musical stuff because we are addicted. Today we are looking at Merxie's.
Who owns the Cyclops saga.
Yeah, Merxie has a lot of fantastic animatics.
Let's get into it.
Into the video.
Yep.
You can relax my...
I will say, I love a good percussion line, and that it's such a great beat and very evocative of like a, what's the word for like an island? Tropic. Like it's a very tropical percussionist beat, very fitting for this questionably inhabited random island they found.
I also just love Merxie's version of Odysseus here, that, you know, he looks the most like Jorge of all the ones that I've seen as far as designs go.
And I especially love the contrast between like focus-faced, brow furrowed, lips puckered, glaring out,
and then you just have an anime girl over there, yeah.
Just anime girl Polites with his little armor skirt.
My friend. Huh? I can tell you...
he's so done with this bit already. This is Strawberry's face every time that Polites opens his mouth.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm done listening to this bitch talk.
No, we love Polites.
I don't like Polites at all.
You need to leave.
But on the note of I don't like Polites, I know that I am in the minority, and no one has to tell me. I know it as a fact. I know a lot of people have fallen in love with this character, and we can get into it the more we get into the video, because I have a lot to say, and I know there's a lot of rebuttals from my husband over here.
Well, I will say, as far as like the proper discussion of why you dislike Polites, let's save that for the Cyclops saga.
We are in the Cyclops saga.
But specifically the part where things happen to him.
Sure. But a lot of it is representative in this video as well.
But at this exact point, I don't think Polites is in the wrong here. I think Polites is trying to keep Odysseus from coming home with PTSD.
I disagree with that entirely. I think I will get into a lot of it here, but we are only 13 seconds in. So let's...
And there were 13 great seconds.
Getting nervous, so do yourself a service and try to relax, my friend, and find Polites. Think of all that we have been through. We'll survive what we get into. I know that you're tired of the war and bloodshed. Tell me, is this how we're supposed to live? Look at how you grip your sword, enough said. Why should we take what we could give?
So, I don't like Polites, but this is a banger song. You know, this is the one thing that I can forgive. I love Stephen Duke's vocal performance. I love Jorge's writing of the song. I love the vibes. It is so, what's the word? It is just so listenable. You know?
Again, like, with that, when the drum cuts in, like, about here.
I know that you're tired of the war and bloodshed.
Like that back, just fairly simple drum beat, but just tying the rhythm together, it makes the song feel so bouncy. Like, yeah, do. Anyways.
Tell me, is this how we're supposed to live? Look at how you grip your sword, enough said. Why should we take what we could give? You can show a person that you trust.
Don't throw a fucking sword, you fucking idiot. Oh my god, what's wrong with you? Do you not know you're in ancient Greece where there are monsters and gods? You know the roster.
Considering that Odysseus has a sword for the rest of the musical, I don't think that movement is canon, but...
No, it's in the animatic where they go get it back eventually.
Oh.
But look at him! He is causing trouble. He is the SpongeBob to Odysseus' Squidward right here. And I can't forgive that.
I
hate characters like this that are so just dull in the brain.
He's not dumb.
I said dull.
What's the difference?
Dull in the brain to the point of naivete, and they're just getting other characters in trouble.
Like,
this is not the world to be a Disney princess in.
You love Disney princesses.
I
though.
do, but they're in their own world where nothing bad can happen to them. Because they're not parents.
I was just gonna say, like, I love this specific frame and the amount that Merxie conveys with the single still, the arms waving, the eyes wide shock.
Flailing.
This is a great frame, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love it when the animators can inject little visual gags into the series every now and then. This is a great one. This is good shit. But he doesn't want to see his king become a tyrant. Because here's the thing. Polites doesn't want to see the song Odysseus happen. He doesn't want to see Odysseus get back home and still be the conqueror and start solving every single problem with a sword, because if you solve every problem with a sword as a king, things go bad very quickly. So yes, you are correct. This is not the series. This is not a world where you can get away with being a Disney princess.
This is the story of a time long ago. A time
But
This
I
is
also
a
just
very
feel like
rough
after
place,
being a soldier
but-
for so long, you need to know better. You need to have some sort of survival instincts. You need to have some sense of self-preservation, especially on a land that you don't know anything about. You could run into anything.
But on the other side of that coin, they had a very uneventful journey to Troy, and they survived 10 years of war without anyone dying. Like, if there was a time where you could relax just a little bit, not all the way, but just a little bit, like, now when they are leaving the war and they're starting the journey back towards civilization, that is also not a bad time to start the journey back from being the soldier to being a human. Like, being a soldier, you've got to compartmentalize all of your humanity, stuff it into a small box, and shove it away back into the closet and forget about it.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine. And you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would
It's
never
not
understand.
healthy.
Well,
Being
sure.
a successful
And
soldier
I
is not
understand
healthy.
the point of trying to integrate back into society eventually, especially if you are on your way home where you have to find a new sense of normalcy. But I don't think in this particular instance it was the time for that, because they are in new terrain, they are in new territory. You don't know what you'll find here. This is ancient Greece.
This is the story of a time long ago. A time of great anarchy, when the future died with petty impulse.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Like, be smart.
When you stop and lower your guard, here we have a chance for some adjustment. Give it a try, it's not that hard, I'm telling you.
They're just jumping off. And it's like, he's having such a good time, and Odysseus is like, I just want my fucking sword back, Polites. Why?
This life is amazing when you greet it with open
Again, like, the amount of emotion that you can convey in a single really good still frame, just, chef's kiss.
arms. Whatever we face, we'll be fine.
Is this a bird?
If we're leading from the heart, no matter the place, we can light up the world. Here's how to start. Greet the world with open arms. Greet the world with open arms.
No, don't touch me. Get away from me.
We definitely have to get a freeze frame on that shot. That. And, like, here is the moment. Because Polites probably thinks this island is uninhabited, and yeah, they need to keep their eyes out for, like, wild animals, but, you know, otherwise this might be just a trip through a tropical island, and this moment, he's like, oh, maybe we are in danger, maybe we do need to keep our guard up just a little bit, which is why Odysseus
Don't
is...
throw away your weapons.
But the Odysseus has a sword.
Stay back! My friend.
There could have been anything on this island. There could have been poisoned snakes. Like, it doesn't even necessarily, you have to be openly armed against people or monsters. There could be real life dangers that just normal people face.
Yeah.
There could have been bears. There could have been men. There could have been, I don't know,
Man bear pig.
coffee stains.
There could have been man bear pig.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've said my piece for the most part.
Greet the world with open arms. We're only here for food. 600 friends are waiting for us to show our faces. Stay back, I'm warning you. If we...
They are very cute. I do love the one that gasps when Odysseus points the sword at him, and they're like, cuties.
When this whole thing becomes a movie and an animated TV show and a video game and whatever, I demand plushies. I demand Winion plushies. They have to happen. It's required. I need one.
I don't acknowledge these as the Winions. They are just the locust eaters. But
Right,
I get it.
no,
I
the
get
lotus
it.
eaters.
Yeah, the locust eaters. What did I say? Lotus. Lotus eaters, yes.
We need lotus eater plushies and also Winion plushies. They're both too cute.
we don't get back safely, my men will turn this place into blazes.
I love just the bowl of food traveling through the crowd of plushies.
Yeah, another excellent shot. Even before he's done delivering this threat, they're already like, oh, we have all the food that we could want, you know? Just like...
My men will turn this place into blazes.
They're so cute!
I also love the contrast here between Full Speed Ahead Odysseus, where his tone was a lot lighter and he sounded a lot younger. Like, that was him with his guard down, but for this song right here, his voice is a lot deeper,
which is healthy. You're on the boat, you're with your trusted honor guard on a ship, the weather is fair. That is definitely a time to let your guard down. I will agree with you. While you're on an unfamiliar island, maybe not the best place to let your guard down.
Yeah, he's definitely King General Captain Odysseus right here, as he should be.
Yeah, wait. But like...
But I before we go on, I do want to say, like, if anyone ever watches this, if Jorge especially ever watches this, I think it's an incredible gift, talent, skill, whatever you want to call it, to be able to voice act through singing as well. Like the fact that he can go into that deeper voice for General Odysseus or whatever his title is supposed to be is amazing to me.
Which, like, these animatics, they do a lot of heavy lifting for the visualization, especially here with this shot. The lotus eaters, like, kind of drooling a little bit as the preliminary suggestion of, hey, something's not entirely right with them. They've got the droopy, like, half-melted eyes. Like, they're all kind of just visibly stoned here.
Yeah, they are addicted to this little plant, the lotus.
But tying back into what you said, it is a fantastic skill to be able to tell a story entirely through music and audio in a way that just comes across so clear that you can practically see it. Epic the Musical, if you just listen to the tracks even without the animatics, you'll be able to know exactly what's going on at any given moment pretty well. The only other, like, I'm sure a lot of pieces of media do this very well, but the other thing that comes to mind that's really good at this is the audio drama Edge of Sleep, not the TV show, specifically the audio drama.
With Markiplier, yes.
Well, with Markiplier acting as the main character,
well,
yeah.
Yes, I am trying to introduce it with you.
But
Markiplier is in it. You know, if you want to promo the product, Markiplier also plays the main character, Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
In the audio drama as well.
And that is similarly like a testament to how much story you can tell with really, really good audio design. And this musical has really good, just musical, like, metaphorical storytelling through pitch and tone and instrument. It's good stuff. It's real good stuff.
See?
And then he's immediately greeted to the side of, I've been right all along.
Which is the thing, like, the color tuning here as well. We've got, you know, Polites, guard down, very bright, like, cool tone whites and grays. The Lotus Eaters show up and the guards back up. Even Polites is like, hey, you know, greet the world with open arms, but he is on guard too. He is saying...
No, he's trying to get Odysseus to lower his weapon.
Yes.
He's an idiot. You can't You can't convince me otherwise.
He is trying to convince Odysseus to not murder these creatures on sight, but I think the color shift here as well lends a lot into that feeling, again, with the...
If he wasn't saying greet the world with open arms, I would agree with you, but he's clearly saying, Odysseus, stop it. Stop trying to protect your life.
different interpretations.
But that's what he's saying. I don't even think that's an interpretation.
But so those are the words out of his mouth, but the deeper meaning behind them, the intent behind them, I think is what we're disagreeing on there.
I don't know. I'm taking it at full face value, because what else would he mean?
Men will turn this place into blazes.
Like, Odysseus, very concerned. Polites, like, a little bit shocked, but...
See?
I love that frame. Actually, is there an interstitial frame in the middle there?
See?
No.
It's just, like, there's a little bit of a bounce there, almost.
No, it's Polites bouncing.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Playback speed. Real slow.
See?
Yeah, it's just him.
Yeah, but there is a frame in the middle there, just with his neck extended and his head, just a little bit of a bounce there.
Yeah, he is bouncing. That's what I said.
Yeah, but like that half of a second snapping into him being the bright-eyed Disney princess again. It's cute. It's real cute. We love that for him.
I think I'm gonna be sick. This life is amazing when you greet it with
Yeah,
And
he's so cute.
And see, they're even bringing his sword back to him. Like, hey, buddy, you dropped this over there. Here's your sword back,
see,
man.
I'm not mad at the Ewoks in the slightest. I'm mad at Polites.
But in this instance, he was somewhat correct. These things are not out to kill them.
But they are bad luck.
Very.
This is why you don't trust strangers. This is why when I watch something like what was it, Raya and the Last Dragon, where
we don't talk about that movie.
But this is a song about blind faith, and it's the exact same lesson
it's
of that.
not about blind faith, though. It's about being open to the possibility.
But that's what Raya and the Last Dragon is about, and I don't agree with the message. I don't believe in the message of, hey, kids, that white van over there, that guy just has candy. Go eat it. It's fine. That is the exact situation that Polites would get in. And I bet you throughout his childhood with Odysseus and Eurylochus, they're always the ones having to watch out for him.
You really hate this poor man.
I hate him.
Whatever we face, we'll be fine if we leave.
Well, and I was going to say something, but you got me off on a side tangent. To summarize this interaction, the Lotus Eaters are benevolent, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can trust them.
From the heart, no matter the place, so we can light up the world. Here's how to start.
I do love that they now worship him as their C-3PO king. I think that's funny. I think that's adorable. I love them. I think they are very cute.
But I also love the facial expressions on Odysseus. Like, Merxie just really nailed it with this animatic.
I just love that one of them wants to adopt Odysseus in particular.
Yeah, one of them self-adopts as the group's mascot. But, like, this facial expression... Greet
the world with open arms. Greet the world with open arms. My friend, I wish that I could say that I agree, but look at the way this fruit.
What you were gonna say?
Yeah, look at him, just trying to pull him back. He's so cute. He's like, he belongs to us now. We'll protect him. We're gonna call him Brian. Which,
again, a nice visual metaphor of Polites, admittedly with his head up in the clouds a little bit, and Odysseus pulling him back down to earth, like, hey, be careful. And the Lotus Eaters literally hanging on to him, like, no, stay here, eat the fruit.
But they were the strangers that gave him the naughty candy.
Yes, strawberry.
I agree, But look at the way this fruit is glowing and filled with glowing seeds. It took me a while to notice just what kind of fruit they eat. It's a lotus, it controls your mind and never.
The little dance they're doing down here, he's doing the monkey.
I will say I do like the headcanon that all of these lotus eaters actually used to be people, and this is what the lotus flower turned them into. Which
100%.
doesn't sound like a bad fate to me.
Headcanon, yeah, which, like, of all the ways that your journey through the Sea of Monsters in ancient Greece could end, being stoned 24/7, living in a tropical paradise, eating lotus fruit, and just fucking vibing all day, like, honestly, knowing what it is, like, I might grab Strawberry and say, hey, we're gonna go eat the lotus fruit, and we're just gonna stay here and vibe forever. Like, is it like the end? Is it a bad end? Technically, yeah, but
I would love to just be eternally happy. You know what I mean?
I might be willing to surrender my sanity in exchange for just eternal high vibes. Like, there's a lot worse things that can happen, and we're gonna see most of them.
Lets you free. That's what we'd get with open arms. Lotus eaters, I'd like to show my friend that kindness is.
Look at it, it's so cute. Oh my gosh, he's like, it's okay.
He's like, I don't know what we did
sorry.
wrong, but we wanna cheer you up, Mr. Odysseus, sir.
Brave. Could you tell me where there's other food to eat? A cave. You're saying.
Which,
Look at him, he's so cute. Oh, we should have put the captions on here for sure, because when they say the cave, there's a parentheses or something like that where they also say scary cave, and that was the thing to pay attention to.
I was going to call that out. If you listen very carefully, there's exactly one voice that says the scary cave. Like, he is probably the only lotus eater that's actually seen this cave, and he's just telling all his friends about it, and he's like, well, that cave's kind of scary, but his voice got lost in all the others.
Cave. You're saying there's a cave where we could feast, and where do we sail to find?
Well, I gotta unmute so you can say that.
Yeah, that one has a correction, Odysseus. That one is Mood. I've
Yeah.
named that one officially Mood.
Mood the lotus eater. And Polites is like, hey, listen, buddy, where can we find some more food? You gonna help me out here behind Odysseus's back?
Where do we sail to find this food-filled cave? Thank you.
They're so fucking cute.
They're so fluffy. Fluffy. They're so fluffy doodles.
Just merch win.
This life is amazing when you greet it with open arms. I see in your face there's so much guilt inside your heart. So why not replace it and light up?
I think I said this during Just a Man. I don't know if I did, but I would love to see in Just a Man a shot of Polites' reaction to Odysseus dropping the infant. And I think that this song is definitely a response to that. You know, I'm sure he saw, I'm sure he knows. And I do respect that this is what the song ultimately is, that it's the theme. It's just like, listen, you did a bad thing, but don't let that define the rest of your life. Don't go home with that guilt. I respect that, but I don't know that this was the time or place to get that across.
Which one of the things I was going to bring up is, this line, there is so much guilt inside your heart. Odysseus is still carrying a lot of emotional burden from murdering an infant, and Polites can see that. So this isn't just, hey man, you should trust everyone forever, nothing bad's gonna happen. It's, hey buddy, you did something objectively, bad, and I can see that it's a burden on you, so let's not commit further atrocities, and let's see if we can find a way to get home and maybe not hurt people on the way there, because I think that will help you to emotionally heal from that trauma.
Yeah, I think he's saying don't dwell on what you did, because you did what you had to for the war, but I don't think that this was the proper setting.
This is the story of a time long ago. A time of myth and legend, when the ancient gods were petty and cruel.
So why not replace it and light up the world? Here's how to start. Greet the world with open arms. Greet the world with open arms.
And here's the thing that I do love about these little things being benevolent is one of them, like the official mascot of the crew, this is the one that sticks with them, he did go out and find an apple for them to eat. Like, oh, you don't want to eat the lotus fruit? Well, there's an apple over here from this apple. Here, you can have this apple. Like, it's so nice.
How to start. Greet the world with open arms. Greet the world with open arms. Greet the world with open arms. You can relax, my friend.
I will have to talk about Odysseus adopting the open arms ideology for Underworld for when we get there.
Which, granted, Odysseus does get himself into trouble with this ideology, and ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Like, I'm not in disagreement that this attitude gets them into a lot of trouble, but the situation is a little bit more complex than just Polites is in the wrong.
I think for a man who had 600 men survive during war without anyone necessarily questioning him, I don't know what the situation was there. I don't know what the circumstances were. I'm not going to read the Iliad because I don't care. But it seemed like he was doing fine enough on his own, measuring up against these situations. Granted, with Athena's help, more than likely that he was able, to go into the quick thoughts. So, what's my train of thought here? My train of thought is that without Eurylochus and Polites trying to steer him in one way or the other, I think they all would have been fine.
I mean, maybe, but I think the thing with the Cyclops is more in defiance of Athena than it is about Polites, because he's just...
I think there's a mixture of a lot going on right there. I think, but we'll get into it more once we get into Remember Them.
Yeah, we'll talk about those songs at those songs, but so like this bit is, I think we mentioned at one point, this musical could sometimes use some nice interstitial bits to connect between songs. This is one of those interstitial bits that would connect this song to the next one, Warrior of the Mind, with Athena pulling Odysseus into quick thought. So in Merxie's interpretation, the entirety of Warrior of the Mind happens in this like couple seconds of static, because that's what quick thought is. Which really cool frame of like his attention being yanked away, Athena's owl feathers. It's like there's no music here, but I still want to draw some attention to it because, man, Merxie, so talented. Good stuff. Anyways, yeah. Don't forget, thumbs up. Gotta thumb the original animation. That's about all I have to say for this one, which we had quite a lot to say.
I love you, Merxie. This one's amazing.
We love you, Merxie.